Hey everybody, this is All Things Cheryl here with another video and another review or recap of the real Black Chyna episode 3. The title is Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. It starts out, we're going to do a little recap, and it starts out with Blac Chyna, Angela, best friend, and the personal assistant, Austin, actually agreed to meet up with Tokyo Tony to basically iron out some differences that Tokyo Tony has with Blac Chyna, best friend. And of course, they meet up at the park. And of course, there were basically conversation going back and forth. And we find out that Tokyo Tony has been posting all over her social media and talking about Blac Chyna. The fact that she was a what did she say? A mistake baby, and we go on, and we find out that Treasure basically has been trying to mediate between Blac Chyna and Tokyo Tony. Now I'm going to say I do like the personal assistant. He seems a very level-headed young person. He's, I think he is a yes, but then again, he's the personal assistant. And so we go on and we find out that Tokyo Tony really, in my opinion, really has some issues with Treasure. And the only reason why she has issues because she do not think that Treasure is really a true friend. And she is, I'm going to say she's upset, and due to the fact that she is jealous of the relationship that Chyna, Angela, has with her best friend, and that the fact that her best friend basically packed up her family and basically moved to California, where Blac Chyna is. Now, we don't know what type of work that her best friend does. It has not been mentioned yet. We just know that she's, relocated, and she's there basically for Blac Chyna, and that, in my opinion, Blac Chyna is really, it's really jealous due to the fact that Blac Chyna basically communicates through her personal assistant and through her best friend. We also know that Tokyo Tony is still obsessed with the fact that her daughter is not supporting her. She feels that her daughter, since her daughter is in another range of a money bracket, that her daughter should be responsible for her, and that she's coming from an old school way of seeing things, that a child is to be seen and not heard. In my opinion, so I'm going to give my opinion later on. So later on, it really started for a minute there. I thought Tokyo Tony was going to, in Treasure, was going to basically do a blow to blow. And so we could see with the conversation that the two of them were having, and that the two of them were having, although astrology science has nothing to do with certain things, but then again, astrology sign does have, and now I understand what's going on between the two dynamics, and the two dynamics is that they are Libra. And I really do think that a lot of people really don't understand Libras. I'm not trying to take up for Tokyo Tony, but I'm basically saying is that Libras will take a lot of stuff. It takes a lot for them to really be pushed. And I could see that the fact that what Treasure was trying to do, and the one reason why I believe that she put her hands behind her back is that at one time I felt that if Tokyo Tony had pushed her a little bit more, I believe Treasure would have put hands on her. Now, Tokyo Tony has this thing of telling people to go suck dick. And she gets very, very upset when when she's the aggressor, and when someone else is the aggressor, or they basically give her a taste of what she's dealing. She really can't. She really doesn't like it. Now, the dynamics between the two, the bottom line is this. This is the real bottom line. The bottom line is that they did meet in the park. They did come to some kind of conclusion. Both of them, everybody was over talking everybody. I think Treasure was the bigger person. She did apologize. She said she had to apologize. It's because this is her mother's best friend, and that she did not want to have anything, as far as their friendship come between it. And basically, in my opinion, Tokyo Tony is trying to break the tightness, the bond that Blac Chyna and Treasure has. And Blac Chyna and Tokyo Tony does not like that dynamic. Now, they agreed to and somewhat disagreed. They came to some, conclusion, and they also agreed that Blac Chyna and Tokyo Tony needs to basically try to air out, some of this differences. This is what Blac Chyna's personal assistant, Austin, told Blac Chyna. And so, really, Blac Chyna really didn't really want to do it, but she did it anyway. And they set up another meeting, also again in basically a public place. And basically, they went and they had the meeting. Blac Chyna and Tokyo Tony. Now, the one thing I will say that I really liked about Blac Chyna, and I've learned this from a communicator. They say that the best thing is to do is to listen what the individual is saying. Do not interrupt, and let that particular individual get through what they are trying to communicate to you. So I like the fact that Blac Chyna did not interrupt what her mother was saying for at least about, I would say, about a good 15 minutes. I think things was kind of sort of working. Of course, yes, Tokyo Tony was basically giving us tears, and we don't know exactly how true those tears was. Perhaps those were true friend tears, but we don't know. And so we see that Blac Chyna basically gets up from the conversation, and she tells her mother that basically she lied to her mother. She tells her mother that basically she's going to go to the bathroom, and she'll be back. Well, while she's going to the bathroom, we hear Blac Chyna, I guess, talking to the camera people or talking to someone, saying that all, the tears and everything was not sincere. There was some crocodile tears, and that basically she's been down this road before with her mother. And so Blac Chyna comes back to the table, and she sits and she's quiet again. Now, in my opinion, sitting and being quiet, it's really a good positive thing. It's because basically, I believe, and I could be wrong, Blac Chyna was basically trying to listen to what her mother was saying. Now, when her mother was talking about the world that both of them lived in was two different worlds, this is where the dynamics started to collage. When Tokyo Tony told Blac Chyna that she is not living in a realistic world, and that Tokyo Tony went on and tried to explain that she was living in a realistic world, and that Blac Chyna was living through her social media, and that social media is another world, and that she's not a part of the real world. This is where the breakdown comes in between the misunderstanding. And on Black Tokyo Tony's part, which I felt that she basically disrespected Blac Chyna, because Blac Chyna did not interrupt her mother when they first got together. She allowed her mother to express to the point where she could, to express exactly what was going on with her. She allowed her mother to say whatever it is that we can fix it. We know that there's some differences. We can fix it. The breakdown came in when Tokyo Tony was saying that social media has her daughter, and her daughter is Blac Chyna. Her daughter that she wants is the old aunt, and whatever that is. And then this is where the breakdown was. When Blac Chyna tried to explain what was going on, Tokyo Tony did not want to hear what Blac Chyna wanted to say. But Blac Chyna allowed her mother to express herself. But Tokyo Tony did not want to allow Blac Chyna to express herself. When Blac Chyna starting to tell her exactly what are the issues and the challenges is, this is when the breakdown was. Now, in my opinion, this is in my opinion, and I just not too long ago, about 30 minutes ago, I saw a video. Now, we know that Tokyo Tony has a channel, and basically on that channel, Tokyo Tony shared, apparently there was a discussion with Blac Chyna and Treasure. And basically Treasure was basically explaining, I guess, to the audience as to why they felt the need, and she felt the need, that Blac Chyna needed to approach her mother with the mother-daughter dynamics. And we also know that not too long ago, Tokyo Tony basically lashed out once again, on her social media. And this time when she lashed out and she said that Blac Chyna was a mistake. She lashed out and she said that how Blac Chyna basically came upon this earth is that her father, we basically know that her father is Eric, and that her father basically raped her behind a school, behind the school. Now, here is the dynamics breakdown, in my opinion. Tokyo Tony and Blac Chyna, but especially Tokyo Tony, and I'm looking at the dynamics with Tokyo Tony, not so much, although the dynamics with Blac Chyna too. Not so much. I'm looking at now. We know that Tokyo Tony's mother is no longer on this earth, and so therefore we do not know. I guess I could probably do some research, but I really don't really want to dig into that. I mean, if I really wanted to find out, I basically probably could. We don't know exactly what the dynamics or what type of individual Tokyo Tony mother was. Now, from what I'm gathering is that her mother was from the old school, and that old school is, a child must stay in its place. A child must not talk back to his mother. A child must obey what their parents is. So we're coming from that school where it is that those are the biblical issues that are basically found in particular chapters and verses within the Bible. And so we see that whenever Tokyo Tony goes to, let's say, correct her daughter or say something to her daughter because she feels that her daughter has disrespected her, she always says that in the Bible, and Tokyo Tony always says that she is a Christian woman and that she abide by what it says. But I can't really, do the verses, but I know it's in there. It also says in the Bible that parents must also respect their children also. I don't know exactly where, but it's in there. And so we see that Tokyo Tony wants her child, Angela, I think it's Angela White is the last name, wants Angela White back. She doesn't like Blac Chyna because Blac Chyna belongs to the social media person, the social media, the population, the population, and that she wants her daughter to literally take care of her. And she feels that her daughter has the responsibility to take care of her. And she believes that her daughter should take care of her. Now, this is where the breakdown in the issue, if Tokyo Tony would sit and be still and allow and to see where her actions go, she would see the reason why. And then we find out that Angela White, Blac Chyna, has been responsible for her mother in some sense, some off kind of quirky kind of way, due to the fact that she did put her mother up in an apartment. She did send her mother money, and she did basically buy her mother a car. Now, her mother took it upon herself to step down from the position. We don't know exactly what type of job that she had, but she took it upon herself to step down from the job that she had. And now we find out that she is homeless, but she stepped down, and I think the reason why she stepped down is because she felt that she didn't have to work, that her daughter would basically take care of her. And this is where the breakdown in communication comes. Now, we also go on and we find out that Black Chyna, I mean not Black, not Black Chyna, but Tokyo Tony has a real serious issue with the people that is around Black Chyna. And Tokyo Tony goes on while they were in the restaurant to explain that Black Chyna is not a kind person. And in some sense, you basically could you can see that a little bit. You can see that. But then again, that really does come along with, especially when you are hiring people, that there somewhat is some type of sternness going on. Is because you're trying to direct certain people who are a part of your life, who are in somewhat not responsible, but help you to get to where you are. You do have to kind of sort of look at how you handle times, and you find a lot of stars get very, very arrogant when they reach a certain plateau. So, in some sense, you can see that if you look at it a little bit more closer. You can see that now, but in some sense, Angela Blac Chyna has picked up a lot of habits and a lot of abuseness. Now, we haven't seen or heard the only abuseness that we've seen that with the real Blac Chyna she displayed is when the first 1 and 2 episode. And so Black Tokyo Tony, in my opinion, needs some very, very intense, and I mean intense therapy. Due to the part that when I say intense therapy is that Tokyo Tony has received and has been dealt with a lot of abuse by way of some of the men and by way of some of the women, basically that's been around her, basically that has helped raise and rear Tokyo Tony up in return. She has lashed out and threw a lot of that energy towards Blac Chyna. Now, we see and we hear that Blac Chyna became a stripper at the age of 16. Now, at the age of 16, Blac Chyna, Tokyo Tony was basically carrying Angela. Now, in my opinion, and this is what I see. I see that some animosity by way of, yes, and somewhat you introduced your daughter to the world of stripping. And your daughter saw the opportunity and she took it. But we go on and we find out that Blac Chyna basically did get locked up. And that Tokyo Tony said that she got her daughter out. Yes, Blac Chyna says, yes, you did get her out. But then we go on and we find out and we know for sure that Blac Chyna basically was in school, in college, learning the entrepreneurship, taking up business administration. And that's basically is showing the way that it's showing. We go on and we find out that not only do we know about Blac Chyna, but we also know that she has a line of lashes, that she has a front side store, that she has a lot of stuff, a lot of a lot of creativity that she's basically going to pursue and to put a future for her kids. She's not just doing it for her, but she's also doing it for her children. Now, I also see the reason why Blac Chyna is basically trying to flesh out and trying to get some clarity is that she does not want King and Dream to be around the negativity and the negativities that is going on between her and their grandmother. Now, eventually, when the kid gets much older, and we know that social media is basically here to stay, they will come across these tapes. They will come across and they will see the dynamics between the two, the grandmother and the mother. Now, treasure, treasure. Now, I'm sensing that treasure has tapped into. She's about. I'm sensing that treasure is a bisexual woman. The reason why I'm saying is that she did discuss and she did say that she did not have relationships with her. But in the camera, it looks like she likes her and she wouldn't mind if Blac Chyna would give in. She would. But I'm thinking that her and Blac Chyna's dynamic is so close that Tokyo Tony is very, very jealous with the relationship that the two have. And in my opinion, unfortunately, I'm going to say this again, Tokyo Tony and Blac Chyna, but especially Tokyo Tony, she needs some very, very intense therapy to deal with the issues of abuse that she received when she was much younger, and due to the fact that she did have a daughter at 16, and I don't know, excuse me, I don't know how old Blac Chyna was when she had her first child. I have no idea. But I do know that Tokyo Tony lashes out, and the way she lashes out is that she lashes out to her daughter, and she does not know how to express it. The fact that she does indeed want to be a part of the world that Blac Chyna is in, but she does not know how to express that, and she does not know how to allow Blac Chyna to tell her that she had issues with her mother while she was coming up, because she felt that her mother put her men friend first before her. And of course, most children will feel that. But look, this is my commentary on the real Blac Chyna. And I felt this is really good, but we know the dynamics between the two. Will I continue on with, yeah, I'm going to continue on this because I want to find out exactly what the outcome is. Now, I don't know what the issue with Tokyo Tony is. That I'm sure that she did get paid, so she made some bags. And due to the fact she says that if it wasn't for her, there would be no Tokyo Tony, there would be no Blac Chyna. No, I don't think so. But anyway, that's my opinion. Those are my commentary. Until the next time, peace and love. And remember, love is for everyone. And next Sunday, we'll go on and we will meet a little bit more people who is involved with the behind scenes of some of the things that we're seeing that Blac Chyna is basically into now. With a Tokyo Tony, I really do feel that Tokyo Tony needs intense, because there is something that she is not saying, and I'm sure there's something in secrets that her mother basically took to the grave. And that's it. Click subscribe and become a and basically watch time, watch time. I need watch time until we'll leave over the weekend. You will see Queen Sugar. Take care. Peace and love.